Hello and welcome to today's episode of Women Matter, brought to you by the Nidari Foundation with support from Action Aid Nigeria. On this program, we discuss women issues with a focus on sexual and gender-based violence. My name is Obianuju, and this episode promises to be educative and informative. On today's episode, we are discussing the ways we can end sexual and gender-based violence in Nigeria. This is important because sexual and gender-based violence, even though majorly affects women, has a tremendous effect on the family and also the society. So it becomes imperative that we take it as our responsibility to all contribute to ending sexual and gender-based violence in Nigeria. Today, I'll be telling you the ways you, your friends, your relations, and everyone that you know can help in ending sexual and gender-based violence in Nigeria. The first way you can help is to take a stand to challenge sexual and gender-based violence in Nigeria. What can you do? You can, in any case where you see violence being meted out on women and girls, you can call the necessary authority to take out the abuser and call the number on your screen to allow the abused access to aid and the support that they need. You have to take it as a responsibility to protect women and girls in your area, in your surrounding, and ensure that violence is no longer meted out on them. This is one way you can help. The second way you can help is by listening. It's important to listen to women and girls when they talk about their experiences, about how violence has been meted out against them, and about how much pain they have felt. It's important to listen and not judge. Do not blame them. Do not ever hold them responsible or guilty of attracting violence to themselves. This is wrong. Do not ever be involved in meting out violence against them. Do not ever be involved in victim blaming. It is important that you listen to them at all times, understand their pain, and then give them, if you can, the needed help and support that they need. Otherwise, call the people who can give them the support that they need. The third way you can help is by talking to constituted authorities, traditional rulers, council of elders, the big guys in your area to help you announce and talk about the harms of sexual and gender-based violence. Like I said, it do not just affect the girl, it affects the family, it affects the society, it affects you, it affects me. It's important that these guys, these big guys in your area, these traditional rulers, these council of elders, that they all join you to speak out against sexual and gender-based violence. When they do this, it sends a message to their subordinates. It sends a message to people that they are leading that sexual and gender-based violence is bad and will not be tolerated in the society where they lead. This is important. The next way you can help is by becoming an agent of change by yourself and helping the men and boys in your area to become agents of change. It's important to educate them on the harms of sexual and gender-based violence, how sexual and gender-based violence do occur. They have to understand how it occurs and how they can help and become agents of change themselves. I understand that sometimes it is very difficult to be able to do this. You might feel conflicted and angry that they do not understand you, but it is important to please try your best to make sure that they understand you. For example, last week I was talking with my uncle. We were talking about rape. This was because of the story about this Covenant University lecturer who had raped a 17-year-old girl in his office. It was a very horrible story, and my uncle was obviously very angry. But in the course of our discussion, he told me that he doesn't think a man can rape his girlfriend, and that he never believes that actually occurs. This was very, very annoying to me, and I was really angry. But I knew that it was important to make him understand. Firstly, he's a patriarch and he's 65 years old. So at this point, it's very difficult for him to understand the dynamics of relationship between men and women. So I wanted him to understand how this happens. So I used the tea analogy. This is an analogy you can use with your friends, with your relations, anybody around you. Always use this analogy if you can. I asked him, you know I like tea, and he agreed. And I said, if I come to your house and I say I want to drink tea, and when you went to get the tea for me, by the time you came back, I'm already sleeping. Would you force me to take the tea? He said no. I said, okay. So if I had been awake and I had said I wanted tea, and you went to get the tea, when you came back, I said, I do not want to drink the tea again, what will you do? He said, he will be angry, but he won't do anything. He will just drop the tea. I said, okay. So what if I had taken tea 5 minutes ago and you brought it again 10 minutes later, and I said I do not want the tea again? What would you do? He said he won't do anything. He would assume that I'm done with the tea. He said, okay. So what if I am drunk? Would you force me to take tea? At this point, he understood where I was going to, about how rape can occur between people who are already intimate partners. He understood it and he said, okay, it now becomes clear. This is important for them to understand how this can happen and why they shouldn't do it. Why they shouldn't ever blame the person that it has occurred or happened to. This is very important. The next way and very important way you can ensure that sexual and gender-based violence ends in Nigeria is by advocating for the domestication of the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act of 2015 that was signed by President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan on May 25, 2015, which protects women and girls and disabled persons from violence. It is important that you advocate for the domestication of this act by all state governments. What it does is that it sends a message to all abusers in every state of Nigeria that there is now commensurate punishment for their action. They should not do this because there is punishment for it. This is important as it will help to end sexual and gender-based violence in Nigeria. Now you know how you can help. Now you know how you can be a partner in ending sexual and gender-based violence. Now, do you know anyone who has experienced this and needs help? Are you yourself experiencing sexual and gender-based violence and you think you need help? Please call the number on your screen for aid and support. We are always here for you. My name is Obianuju, and this program was brought to you by the Nidari Foundation with support from Action Aid Nigeria. I'm very happy to have you on this program today, and I hope to see you next time.